What is up, you guys? Back to another Blender tutorial. So these are going to be a new series called Quick Tips with Blender, I guess. And in this video we are going to do some tips, and one of them is the noise modifier. That is the tip for today. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, cool. So I have this little character right here, and you are looking at the correct guy, and if you would like to select them, we're going to go ahead, select our person, and we would add a modifier and do noise. Now the reason we would usually add a modifier, or the reason I add noise modifier, is to kind of make it look like it's a hand-drawn animation, right? So if we hit the space bar, push play, you can see that it kind of gives more motion to it. It just basically moves around the grease pencil object each stroke, and distorts it, each layer and each stroke. So we can play with this over here in the little wrench tool or the modifiers, and we can do the position, and as we can see, it'll move the position around of the stroke, make it more dramatic, less dramatic. We can play with the strength, bump it up. The more strong that you do it, the less it has like a different effect. So the less obvious, like the less of the form you'll see of if that makes sense, right? Kind of, not really. So yeah, we can just play with all these modifiers. And noise scale is really what I like to play with, because you can see we get kind of like a Rick and Morty look, and it starts messing with the X, Y, and Z. So the higher the noise scale, the more wavy and kind of broken it'll look, but it'll give kind of this very interesting, trippy, roughed out look, right? So it's pretty smooth, and then it gets really noisy. Now we'll come down here, we can do noise offset. This will just shift the noise, and we can combine the smooth with that to be extremely noisy, and then the noise seed is going to change what value it is referencing from. So if you're looking, you're like, oh, it doesn't look right, you can just change the seed. See the same data, now it looks different. We can change it to a big number, and now it looks a little different. Yeah, and the cool thing is you can actually animate it. So if we pause it, come to the start here, we'll take this off, and we will switch this to grease pencil on the timeline, and then we will hit this little tick button on the noise scale. So we'll have it at 0, and then at frame 60 we will drag it up. So now, as you can see, it is now animating from 0 to 0.521 right here on the noise scale. And we can see this effect, and we hit play. See, now it's slowly starting to get more chaotic, and then it'll stay like that. And then if we really want to be fancy, we can also animate it back down to 0. Alright. Cool. And if we go in the dope sheet, we can actually see on the timeline the noise scale modifier getting animated like that. So here we go, hit play. See, at 60 now we are at full scale. Now we're going back down to 0. Shift on the noise scale, and if you're like, hey, it's taking too long, then we'll select the keyframe, and we can hit G on the keyboard, drag it over, so now it'll go from really high noise to immediately back down. You see that? High, immediately back down. Cool. Alright. Alright, now I'm gonna wrap that noise modifier video up. I hope that was really helpful. Just play with the values, and honestly, it's not super high detailed, but it creates a cool effect, and it keeps the people watching your animations eyes drawn to the screen, at least in my opinion, because our eyes are attracted to motion and light, and if it's constantly moving, it kind of gives it that artistic effect. If you would like some more of these quick tips, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.